Hello and a very good morning, everyone. We welcome you all to the Center of Sports Excellence as we're all set for the final round of Indian Women's League 2 2025-26. We have Krida Prabodhini Pune all set to rumble against Kemp Football Club. It's going to be a top battle considering the kind of firepower that these two teams pack, and you would expect them to deliver the payload of the highest order. Well, that's how Krida Prabodhini lines up today. Under the sticks, Nikita, four-man back unit, Shakshi, Rani, Shakshi, and Aditi. In the midline, they've got Davina, the three-man mid-unit, Pinku, Arya, Payal, and up top, Sumaya and Simran do the heavy lifting. Of course, it won't be easy. They're playing under the chaperonage of Dheeraj Hariharnath Mishra. And at the other end, on the bench, they've got Ritika, Cody, Nandini, Vaishnavi, Divya, Angel Subba, Purva Gaikwar, Tanvi Kore, Tejaswini Thapa, and Namram Langambi Chanu. And the team hailing all the way from Pune. Then at the other end, we've got Kemp FC under the supervision of Sudhakar D. Aruni Singh under the sticks, and then Nandini, Tara, Amisha, Rifka Ramji, Monisha, Arya, Yuvarani, Malika Mandal, Mandala Anusha, and Moirangtham Roshibina. They're playing in a very attacking formation. They're going in 3-5-2, a formation that you'd rarely see in women's football. But again, just to clarify, that just means one thing and one thing only. Kemp FC is not here to hold themselves back and put up a defensive show. On the bench, they've got Tanvi, Asika, Khushbu, Mithila, Chaitanya Sri, Sabara Khatun, Laya, Sonali, Rebecca, and Avantika Swami. It's a matter of moments before these two sides they step into the field. Once again, this is another incredible initiative altogether by AIFF in order to give these young girls a chance, an opportunity to express themselves better. This is a Group B clash where Krida Prabodhini Pune, they played four, they've won three, they've just lost one. They're in the second position, they've scored 14 goals so far, just conceded a couple of them. And three adrift of Hops Football Club, who were demoted from IWL last year. And at the that's what their group stages look like. And Kemp Football Club, they topped their group stages, playing three, securing a couple of wins. Just that one draw, scored 9 goals and conceded one. In the final round so far, Kemp, they are in the third position. They played a couple of matches that secured one victory. They have been defeated once. And just on cue, the players make their way to the center. Mr. Banner leads them all, the entourage of officials as well, making their way to the center. This is going to be a battle to savor, a battle that will test these two sides to the fullest, that will push them to the core, and they'll have to show the grit and gumption if they are to survive this crucial challenge. Just the pre-match rituals, the players shaking hands, of course, the calm before the storm, they say, because once the game begins, it's going to be a footballing show of exhilaration. Two sides ready to take each other, two sides ready to pounce upon each other's throat without any mercy whatsoever. The two captains spearheading Krida Prabodhini, it's Rani Sunil Kadam. And at the other end for Kemp, it's going to be Tara Anand to lead the lines. The pre-match photo ops for both the sides. And of course, it's also not just a game of these 22 players trying to prove a point. Today's match official, Satish is our referee, M. Jayaraj and Kavita Sahu, the two assistant referees, and Adi Ringnidam is our fourth official for the day. And in the center, the two captains, of course, Rani Sunil Kadam at one end and Tara Anand at the other. And Shobik Mukhopadhyay, today's match commissioner. And as the discussions go on between these two teams, the discussions of last minute hurdles that's being discussed, hoping that it's more than enough. Whatsoever they have practiced out in the training ground, this is where they execute it all. And it should go to plan, it should go to perfection because there's no room for error whatsoever. From here on, it's all about doing things, executing things to the team. But this is a platform that these girls will be looking forward to. This is where they work their hearts out. This is where they squeeze their souls out, put everything on the line for that one spot in the Indian Women's League next year. Right then, we are moments away from kickoff, and it's Kemp Football Club. We're going to get us underway at the Center of Sports Excellence. And off we roll here at CSE. Kicking on your frame from the right to the left in their flamboyant reds. It's Kemp Football Club who gets us underway, and on your frame right now in pursuit of the ball in their signature wines, it's Krida Prabodhini Pune, who will be hoping that they can put some early pressure on these young women in red. It's going to be Aditi Garekar who gets the throw in. And it goes all the way back to that own half of theirs. No rush whatsoever, just keeping things tight, just keeping things under control. That's quality work, to be honest. Good press there from Monisha. Just didn't want to give the ball away so easy. That's the kind of intent that you would love to see. Gets that cross-feed ball into play, miles away from one of their overlappers. And at the end of it all, it'll be too easy for Krida Prabodhini. But again, early intent, decent exchanges is what we've started the game with just a few moments ago. Rivka coming in with that early press. Another one of those long throws that just clear away. They don't want the ball to fall straight away into that cantering stride for now. Just want that to sail out, hoping to play spoil sport to the free flowing brand of football. A long throw all into the box and easy pickings for Nikita Desai. Comes out to the line in no time whatsoever. And now Kemp pressing high, does well to snatch the ball. Quality twist and turns. Gets that diagonal ball onto the left, gets the cross into the play. Once again, kudos to Nikita Desai out of the line. And a simple catch, a simple gathering at the end of it all. Thereby putting an end to what could have been a tricky proposition. And now at the other end, Krida Prabodhini, they come hoping to get something of their own, and in the process have been given a free kick as well while they were trying to move in front. There was a little clip along the way, and the free kick will be taken by Davina Devi. Davina ready to slam it downtown. Gets it flat. Once again, sends it crashing into the box. Repelled away by Kemp. Another one of those long balls, and that's for the first time in the game. We will see Aruni Singh in action out of the line, picking it up and nullifying the first categorical move of Krida Prabodhini. And that's a decent idea. Of course, wanted to come up with that defense splitter altogether, but that was not to be. Nicely nullifying. Wonderful bit of anticipation all the way. And eventually pushed back into the half of Krida Prabodhini. They'll have to be a bit too careful when it comes to that precision part. The little awkward wobble, and Kemp does well to understand that. So far, decent exchanges, one would say. But Krida Prabodhini, this could have been one of their moments. That was good pressure in the box, trying to snatch it away and hoped to channel it goal bound. But it was never going to be the case. Good solid goalkeeping as well from Aruni Singh. Had to come up with something significant. Oh, that's a good ball onto the right. But good defending as well. That is really good body shielding. Once again, knowing not really overcommitting into the challenge. That was very important. It was about getting the technique right with that body, bringing that body behind, between the ball and the player who was in pursuit. Does well eventually. First 5 minutes, we've seen some quality action. Despite the fact any goal bound move is still to come gushing in front of us. And that will go out off the park for a throw in. Krida Prabodhini, as the game has moved on, they've looked better. Again, a little ping into the box. Just need to be a bit more patient when you're releasing the ball. You want your players to come in. So a bit more situational awareness and things can turn on its head altogether. But that hasn't been the case so far. They're coming out there slowly and steadily, just making things count. And now at the other end, this can be trouble in the making. Rivka goes on all the way back to the goalkeeper once again. Does well to just come out of that line in time, ensuring that the angle never really favored the opposition. That's good heart shown as well. Roshibina quickly turns it around, flicking it for Malika, who switches it all the way to Amisha on the left. And Amisha does well to knock it forward. Monisha, before she could make the most of it, a timely clearance coming along, bailing Kemp Football Club, apologies, Krida Prabodhini along the way. That's a gentle flick. Could have been better, could have been more elevated. And the referee undoubtedly awards a free kick because of that little clip on Roshibina. She's trying to get past the marker, just trying to come in with that little inside dodge and tripped along the way. Now it's going to be a free kick. Tara is going to be the one to whip it forward. Goes along the carpet straight into the hands of Nikita. No troubles whatsoever. She picks it up without any challenge at all. And now launches it forward. Just heads it down. Good bit of resistance along the way. The battle goes on, but eventually well snatched. A couple of players coming together in what was a double player marking. And no risk taken. Pile from the right. But that's quality stuff. Took on a couple of defenders without any supporting play and now gets the ball in the box. A chance again. Lays it off, trying to chest it down. But then the offside flag has gone up already. So which means she'll have to return empty-handed. But that was a decent move altogether. And possibly the best move of the day so far from Krida Prabodhini. Just getting that run slightly ahead. You have to time that run to perfection. But they will take a lot of heart from that move. Once again, snatched away nicely. Launches it long. This is where that little precision is needed. Maybe just hold yourself back a while. Try and figure out how your teammate's gonna run, because at times it's understandable that the initial instinct is to the moment you're getting hold of the ball, it's like you have been given an assignment and try and make the most of it. But at times that might not work always. It's also about the situational awareness. It's also about the awareness that where your teammate is, because that is what will eventually change things. Now imagine the same ball. That's another quality ball. Now this can be trouble. Oh, brilliantly done. What a wonderful finish. That's the opening goal of the day, and that's a top strike as well. 1.5 volley. You won't see them going in too often. There are so many factors on the horizon. And this time, a knock forward all the way from Aditi. And she didn't even take a touch to try and control that. Took it through the air itself. Aditi with a lovely ball and timed it to perfection, following the trajectory of it and knocking it goal bound. What a start for Krida Prabodhini. Still to confirm who's the one who got that boot to the ball, but that is possibly the best goal that you can see so early in the morning. What a sensational hit, no questions at all. First and foremost is you have to get in line with the ball in order to try and channel it goal bound. Then it's the point of connection, because if the point of connection goes wrong, it can be really, really tricky. And then it's also about balancing your body. Another one of those long balls from Aditi, trying something similar, a little awkward bounce. Now, this bounce can be really challenging. This is an artificial turf. And time again, we've kind of highlighted that on artificial turfs, the ball tends to bounce a little more for these women to try and control. So the fact that they are doing well to control the ball in the opposition half, that's another lovely ball trying to get that little outside movement. But once again, kudos to Nikita, who was out of the line in no time whatsoever in order to collect the ball. But this is good paced action. The temperament, the tempo of the game, that's so much under control. That is exactly what you love to see over and over again. But what a goal. We'll try and show you once again on replay. That goal, it deserves 1,000 accolades. It deserves a gazillion hymns to be sung after that. That's another quality ball. Good first touch to keep that in play as well. Decent ball control. Penetration into the box now. Just before the shot could come in. A necessary blockade along the way. Takes that outside dodge. And once again, that little intervention along the way before the shot was fired by Amisha, bailing Krida Prabodhini out on that occasion. That's now for the second time Kemp Football Club has ventured into the box. They aren't really daunted by the fact that they've conceded a goal. That stop staff again, a bit too late to react, taking the ball away from them. This is where timing gets so important now. Pyle from the right. Pyle knocks it forward as well. Might have been one of those strategies that they have worked extensively on the training sessions from the right, especially. Every single time they're getting hold of the ball, they are launching it forward. Of course, they've already got a validation for the same, and that was that opening goal. But again, you have to understand a move like that, it is not a very regular move that you will see. It is a move that happens at times, because it's also too much of an ask for the goalkeeper, for the striker, apologies, in order to control the ball from that. Another throw quickly peek and a bit of a melee out there. Eventually, the ball just wriggles its way out of it. And Krida Prabodhini once again launching it downtown as the ball trickles out of the park. Another one of those long throws in the box and nullified just in time. Does well. This time losing out a foothold, and that's another wonderful ball forward. Controls that to perfection. Goes for the shot at the second post, and it's merely whiskers that the ball goes out to the park. But once again, top stuff. What a lovely bit of work, and again one of those long hauls into the box this time. Trying to control that. It looks like it's Simran, the one who's also scored the goal for Krida Prabodhini. Simran Gurung has some experience in her stride in putting that to good use. And if she would have connected, the idea was so good. The idea was to try and get it into that second post. Of course, with Aroni just getting out of that line, things could have been tricky if that ball was in the goal frame. But this is good intent. This is good clinical intent altogether. Not really daunted down by the number of chances that they are facing when Krida Prabodhini, when Kemp Football Club is up against them in that attacking pursuit of theirs. It just tells you volumes about that control, about that understanding of the game that they have. That's so good to watch at all times. And you want to see them over and over again. And just that quick confirmation, it's Simran Gurung, the woman who scored the opening goal with that incredible side volley of hers. Took it on the go itself and hammering it into the back of the net. That's exactly what you want to see time and time again. Again, we'll be hoping that we'll get a replay of the same because that's a goal that you would love to see 1,000 times and you'd still not be exhausted from the same. Well, we've got the team officials as well watching on. Another one of those long hits and could have been better. Nonetheless, the idea is extremely palpable. That is really good to see. The clarity of thoughts out at this level. Of course, you're playing in IWL too, something which is equivalent to Star Cement IFL for women's. So, of course, these women, they'll also have to prove a point, and they have been good. Another good forward ball, and the run was on for sure. Nandini going all guns blazing to get hold of the ball, but not to be. This is the second top tier tournament for women's in India. Of course, the premier being Indian Women's League. And again, Simran Gurung possibly spotted out that that run could have been ineffectual because she was already in that offside trap. Once again, that situational awareness coming to the fore. That's what you really want to see day in, day out. But also kudos to how Kemp Football Club, they kept that defensive line of theirs intact because there the composure plays a crucial role. That's good touch football, good link up, and another brilliant forward ball as well. A little outside move and now knocks it forward, but then a bit of a head start there for Nandini, really not going in her favor. You can see the officials very, very tensed. That's what happens when you're seeing these young girls and react. It's of course a treat to the eyes. It's also about figuring out that what are the areas that they will need to work upon. Changes a lot of things. Another one of those long balls. Of course, Simran Gurung has been the target woman so far for Krida Prabodhini. She's already fired home that opener. What a terrific strike. And then at the other end, we've seen Kemp Football Club getting those passes right. Quality balls so far that we've seen from them. It's just that in that final third, they'll need a little more work. They'll need to understand that what they're up against. They'll have to play those passes a better way. They'll have to get them. They'll have to knit them together, hoping to leave a significant impact against their counterparts. And possibly come in with a bit more penetration into that final third will change a lot of things. But so far, it has been quality football in the first 20 minutes. Time and time again, something that will remind you that that's how good Indian women's football has been. Nandini now brought down with a clattering tackle, but that tackle was timed to perfection by Nikita Desai. Out of a line, almost cannoning in at Nandini, not willing to give any space whatsoever. And that was well done as well. Ball stays in play. That's again good sign of maturity. Lovely cross in the box. The idea was perfect and there was an entire goalkeeping. The touch just went slightly awry. But what an opportunity, what an equalizer it could have been. What a brilliant glimpse of a team goal it would have been. Almost bursting forth to life. That was the tackle that was made on Nandini. And Nikita Desai timing it to perfection because these challenges, they can be really, really deadly. And just that consequent move from that almost cracked open the entire Krida Prabodhini defense. Only if that final touch could have been a bit more convincing, the entire equation would have flipped on its head and it wouldn't have been a better sight than that. Two brilliant goals, we could have said. But nonetheless, Kemp Football Club, now they know that they can come gushing as well. Pile. And once again, that same tactic, knocking it forward, but this time, Kemp Football Club, they were not taking any prisoners, not taking any risk whatsoever, channels it out of the park. Once again, Pile. Davina. Good supporting play is what we have witnessed so far. That's what you really love to witness day in, day out. And once again, Krida Prabodhini, that's the kind of desperation that they have, that even if they are losing their body shape along the way, you've got to push the ball into the stride of your teammate, Arya. And Arya goes long, but Aruni Singh, she won't be phased by that, does well to connect the ball. No trouble whatsoever. Krida Prabodhini now getting a lot more hold of the ball. And what a wonderful knock forward. Just if that weight on the ball would have been a little less, possibly it felt like it was all right. That run from Pinku Devi on the left could have been better, should have been better. Should have been a bit more active trying to snatch the ball. Nonetheless, that's another opportunity wasted. But this is actually quality football so far, and this has been impressive. But now, Kemp Football Club, they might be looking forward for a venture, for a foray of their own. With very good defending, very tight defending as well from Krida Prabodhini. They were not willing to give an inch altogether. Once again, a look at the goal. What a brilliant ball in the box, and Simran Gurung following that all the way. Takes it along the halfway mark. We talk about picture perfect volleys. That's also an example that will go a long way to teach all the young aspirant footballers that how you gotta execute a side volley to perfection. And Simran Gurung doing that with a smile on her face. And that's also the kind of experience that she brings into the mix altogether. She's been around for a while, so knows what she is doing, and that situational awareness, that clarity changes a lot of things. Long throw into the box again, trying to make it into a set piece, but now Krida Prabodhini might have a lot of free space to work with. Wanted to knock it forward, just couldn't get the pass right. Wonderful bit of interception as well. And eventually it's going to be a free kick in favor of Kemp Football Club. Once again, straight into the hands of Nikita. Nikita has been really impressive so far. Those outings, those timely outings, timely gatherings as well, that's been so good to watch. Has been quite the spine for Krida Prabodhini defensive work. That's what you want, the kind of leadership stature that she brings into the mix. It's always impressive. And now that little twist and turn, Aruni out of a line in no time. She was not willing to contend with another possible invasion of the opposition. So just doing what has to be done. And once again, at the other end, Kemp Football Club found themselves stranded in that offside trap. Now that's quite a high line, because almost close enough to the half line is where that offside trap happened. So tells you that Krida Prabodhini, now buoyed by confidence, they are resorting to that high line. Another one of those long balls in the box, just traded away for now for Kemp Football Club. They will have to figure a way out to breach that opposition defense, because right now, if you take at Krida Prabodhini's defensive unit, they are resorting to that high line because they are a lot more confident, and at the same time, they have figured out a pattern of attack. Those long balls have been a real bother so far for Kemp Football Club and the defense of theirs. It's kind of coming apart at the seams whenever they have a long ball in sight. So just sticking to that pattern for now because it's worked out wonders, and Simran Gurung has been an absolute dynamite in the heart of that invasive, encroaching, marauding unit of Krida Prabodhini. That's really good to watch at all times. Another one of those long throws. And once again, quality stuff from the defense. Just not overdoing things, just not panicked at all. Doing the basics and fundamentals, executing them with very simple intent. You know, as they say in football, you get the fundamentals right, 50% of your job's done. And again, the idea was absolutely gorgeous. The only problem is the ball needed a little less weight on it, and that should have been on its way for Payal Kothari to try and capitalize. But that wasn't the case. Goes out for another throw in. Quickly taken. Sends it downtown. That has been a lovely run. Can be a chance. A few touches along the way. What a brilliant finish as well. Nandini making no mistake. Stuck to the trajectory of the ball. Went ahead. Went for that solo drive up against the defender. And with that final touch, when it mattered the most, placed that right at that acute corner past an advancing Nikita Desai. What a top finish as well. Two quality goals. And once again, that composure. Getting that header in play. And eventually going in for that physical tussle with Rani Kadam. And then that final laugh coming from Nandini, who had the guts, who had the gall to beat Rani Kadam along the way. What a sensational run there. Rani Kadam needed to bring in a bit more of that physique of hers, hoping that she could muscle Nandini out of possession. But she went slightly away from the ball and kind of stayed in that hand lock with Nandini, thereby allowing Nandini that little space to operate with. And Nikita Desai may have been slightly late to come out as well, allowing Nandini that little angle at goal. And Nandini doing what she should have done, just that little thicker, propelling the ball goal bound. What a finish! That's what you call footballing acumen. An ingenious stroke of precision, getting Kemp Football Club back in the game. They look like they were the side who had what it takes to get back into this battle. Good understanding, good situational awareness, and most importantly, a quality finish like that. It puts the seal on their dominance so far. And we are back to square one from where we started. It's 1-all at the CSE for now. And it goes without saying, it just serves as the prelude, as the overture to the quality of gameplay that's gonna come ahead, that's gonna fall in front of us. Again, can be one of those openings. Again, very gently stroke forward. Nandini, Nikita Desai, apologies, came out of a line, and Nikita is in trouble. There was a gentle clip. Penalty is what has been awarded, and that's what Nikita is protesting about. And I think at the other end, we can see a protest about why a card hasn't been brandished. But this is a chance for Kemp Football Club now to get back in the lead. The right call being made. What the question was, did the clip come in time? Or was it time to perfection from Nikita Desai? But she got it all wrong. She'll be fortunate to escape a booking. Because again, it was unintentional. But she got that tackle wrong in terms of timing. And it's going to be Rifka Ramji stepping up for that spot kick. And Rifka misses that. Going for that bottom corner. Just couldn't get the shot on target. And a collective sigh of reprieve for Nikita Desai and company. And Nikita was well beaten. No chance she was getting hold of that. But then you got to place the ball in the frame of that woodwork. That wasn't the case. And Nikita now will possibly be thanking her stars. But at times you got to do things. You got to disrupt your opposition, because the way I think again Nikita had a bit of a challenge coming out. That timing of that challenge wasn't right. Even in case of the goal as well, Nikita could have come out a bit early. Just missed out that timing of hers. And in football, for a goalkeeper, as they say, that every split second can turn out into an eternity of punition. That's exactly what's happened at the other end. But this time, Rivka, she should have done better, should have just been a bit more confident. Also, one along the carpet, never really going to help the cause. And now the ball given away way too easily. Should have been a better enterprise, to be honest. Just excited by the prospect that she could have went for the shot from range and going for glory. She completely scuffed the lines, and another opportunity goes begging. It has been a top game play now. Simran Gurung now switching to the left, trying to come up with the cross. Had a very burly presence in front of her, was not going to be easy for her to try and get past that defensive work. Needed a way around it for sure. Now the long haul in the box, and after a long time, Aruni Singh has been involved. The passing so far from Kemp Football Club, it has been so good to watch, and it continues to be the same. The tussle for the ball goes on. Good supporting play once again. And now a nutmeg as well. Again wins the ball. Fair and clean. Rivka now in the box looking for redemption. Rivka goes on. And Rivka just getting that timing wrong again. She had to release the ball earlier. She had so much space and option as well on the right. In football, the release, the timing of the release is also very, very crucial. It can bring about the making of an empire. It can also lead to the destabilization of an entire force. And only if Rivka could have let the ball off in time, that would have been a sensational opening. And another golden, another gilt-edged chance for Kemp Football Club goes begging. What should have been 2-1. First, a penalty wasted. And now another one of those miffed opportunities to try and get the ball into the cantering stride of one of their teammates. You'll have to be careful in football. At times can be a very, very merciless game as well. All these chances, if you're not converting them, they might come back to haunt you later, and you wouldn't want that. Nikita this time making no mistake. Rolls it and again releasing the ball a bit too early. Should have expected a bit more from a teammate. Eventually the work comes in. But for Aditi Garekar, once again the ball has been released, but this time the offside flag has gone up. So this attack will not go all the way into that opening unit of theirs. But 35 minutes, truth be told, this game has really lived up to the lofty expectations. Two sides coming to this game with a lot of hope altogether, hoping to put up a show. And as expected, right from the word go, we've seen two brilliant goals. One from Simran Gurung, taking a wonderful side volley, and then at the other end, Nandini getting a name on the score sheet. Here's a chance for Krida Prabodhini. They've got a free kick. Again, the distance is a bit too overwhelming, but they can definitely use this as one of those springboards where they can launch it forward. Maybe one from those training sessions. Goes for that free kick. Oh, a little bit of wobble out there, sparking a glimmer of hope in Krida Prabodhini's heart. But that was a good free kick as well. Going for a direct shot from distance. Not really easy, to be honest. Taria More was the one powering that. And Daruni Singh, who has been good as well, just fumbling that ball but ensuring that despite the wobble, she was under control. And she collected that without a fuss. And no risk taken. Rani Kadam beaten once, clearing the ball. And now knocking it forward. This time Nikita on her toes does well to come out of that line of hers and gather that ball before she could propel it downtown. I think it's getting a bit of a scrambling affair now. But there's a little bit of space now for them to operate as well. Gets the ball onto the far right. Wonderful cross in the box. A little bit of a trouble there brewing. And a very awkward deflection. Kudos to Aruni Singh that she throws her body along the carpet to contain that. But that could have been a mortifying own goal. What a lovely run from Payal Kothari. In one moment of madness, could have led to a serious catastrophe for Kemp Football Club. They wasted out opportunities at one end, and lucky for them that they didn't have to pay the price straight away. This is how quickly football can change course. This is how quickly football can turn on its head and start posing a few serious questions on the horizon. Once again, long ball, hoping for Simran Gurung to take position. But these long balls, they come in with a probability factor. And Kent Football Club finally will have things under control, hoping to launch something of their own. Good ball, and it goes through the defense. And Nikita Desai finally coming out of that line, bailing her team out of the immediate jeopardy that they found themselves locked in. At the other end, these forward balls from Kemp Football Club has been definitely probing ones. Early change is going to be affected out here. Sakshi Repe will be taken off. And we have got Purva Gaikwar who will be making her way into the center. A tactical change. Sakshi Repe has been having her fair shares of challenges, and that is why the coach didn't want to take any further risk with her, thereby bringing in Purva Gaikwar, hoping that the gaps that were being created by these forward balls from Kemp Football Club, they can be plugged with the inclusion of Purva. Again, quality maneuver altogether from the right. Nandini trying to get a cross in play. What a brilliant bit of move. But again, tougher angle for them to work with. Trying to just push it into that goal was not going to be easy, but then she just had that one shy. So she tried her best, hoping for a chance to possibly conjure out of thin air. Was not going to be easy. A better option for Nandini for to cross the ball could have been the one in the center. But then on the run, while you're trying to get the ball, trying to get the connection, it's not really easy at all times. So Nandini, making the most of whatsoever, was ahead of her. And once again, the defensive clearance coming on from Gavina Devi. Kemp Football Club pushing the numbers forward. It's going to be a throw-in, and it's going to be a long one as well. Holds it long in the box there. And that's a good clattering clearance. So far, a good fluid brand of football. Not too many stoppages. Now at the other end, Krida Prabodhini. They come knocking. They've got numbers as well. Arya More. Arya once again hammering it goal bound. Of course, galvanized by that last free kick which she took. Almost left Aruni Singh in a lot of trouble. And Arya More making that same attempt only to see the ball miss the frame of the goal. What a chance it could have been. That was a decent move altogether, hoping to pounce upon the ball in front of the goal, trying to put some pressure on Aruni Singh. But that wasn't the case. And now at the other end, Kemp Football Club. What a brilliant bit of interception. That stopped work there. She had to come in the line of the ball, ensuring that not much was made from it. And now Kemp under the pump. You would expect something better. But then they had a bit of supporting play. But Simran Gurung was also breathing on her neck. This is where a long clearance should have been affected. And this time stepping on the ball, lucky for her that she didn't injure herself. But then she's given the ball away. Krida Prabodhini, every time they get hold of the ball in this juncture, those quick work, those quick passes, those quick exchanges makes them extremely deadly and extremely menacing as well. And that's something that they like to avoid. And it goes out of the park for a throw-in for Kemp Football Club. They want to go into that tunnel. They want to go into that lemon break on the high, but definitely their coach will have a lot of talking to. Once you miss a penalty, once you miss another gilt-edged chance, in fact, they could have been up by 3 or 4 goals, but they couldn't make the most of those chances. And right now, it's all fair and square here at CSE. Another long throw in the box once again. That awkward bounce. We talked about it right at the start of the game. When you are playing the game on an artificial turf, these awkward wobbles can be really tricky. These awkward wobbles can test you to your core altogether. And especially if you are a goalkeeper, at times you have to react, you have to judge very quickly enough. It was almost like a rally in racket sports. And a good ball as well, but then that intervention, that little touch, taking the ball out of its stride, allows Krida Prabodhini to breathe a sigh of relief. 3 minutes of additional time at the end of the first 45 minutes. Going to be a corner for Kent. Sends it flashing. Nikita Desai. She's made an absolute hack of affairs. She's just let the ball slip from her grip. What should have been an easy gathering has turned into a full-blown disaster. And Kemp Football Club get their noses ahead just at the stroke of half time. There you go. The easiest of collections, no challenge whatsoever. One might think that Monisha had a hand to it, but Monisha absolutely nowhere close. It was just a plain goalkeeping error from Nikita Desai, and that might cost her team now dearly enough. All the hard work that Krida Prabodhini has kind of put in might come unraveling. Another one of those long balls hoping to split apart the defense, but it didn't really work out this time. Finally, after attempt, Kemp Football Club get hold of that second goal and will be going into that lemon break, will be going into that breather with that slender lead right now in that repertoire of theirs. Nikita, who looked so good at the start with those outings, has now committed 2 errors, which can be very expensive and exorbitant towards the end. Getting the timing wrong in her outing in that first goal, and then in the second, what should be a regulation take for a goalkeeper ends up in the back of the net. alongside downtown. And Kemp Football Club looks like they are still not done. They are absolutely famished for more goals. They want that insurance goal to come in. But now Krida Prabodhini, they might have something to work on. The flag has gone up, so that goal won't count. But of course, Simran Gurung, she might invite a yellow card, is it? No, the referee just going extremely easy on her because ideally, if the whistle has gone, the player will have to let go of the ball unless she is an action strike or else it's a bookable offense. But then the referee just explaining things to her. That is really good refereeing because at times the referees, they tend to go by the books completely, ignoring the fact that there's a human side to the game. There's a human psyche to the game. So for players as well, it can be very, very daunting. That's good refereeing as well. And that's the halftime whistle. Good 45 minutes of football between these two sides. And as things stand at the halfway mark, Krida Prabodhini Pune, they have one goal for now that came from Simran Gurung's side volley. And Kemp Football Club, they are 2 goals to good. Nandini and Monisha with their names on the score sheet. And with that being said, we go to the halftime, we go to the tunnel with the scoreline of 2-1 in favor of Kemp. We'll take a short breather and we'll be back with the second half of the contest. Stay tuned, everyone.
We are ready.
We too as well.
Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Red, yellow, orange, green is for good health and the care we need. Blue, violet, indigo is for happiness and peace to all. Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Look up to
Rainbow Children's Hospital and Birthright by Rainbow Hospitals.
We are ready.
We too as well.
Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Red, yellow, orange, green is for good health and the care we need. Blue, violet, indigo is for happiness and peace to all. Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Look up to
Rainbow Children's Hospital and Birthright by Rainbow Hospitals.
We are ready.
We too as well.
Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Red, yellow, orange, green is for good health and the care we need. Blue, violet, indigo is for happiness and peace to all. Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Look up to
Rainbow Children's Hospital and Birthright by Rainbow Hospitals.
We are ready.
We too as well.
Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Red, yellow, orange, green is for good health and the care we need. Blue, violet, indigo is for happiness and peace to all. Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Look up to
Rainbow Children's Hospital and Birthright by Rainbow Hospitals.
We are ready.
We too as well.
Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Red, yellow, orange, green is for good health and the care we need. Blue, violet, indigo is for happiness and peace to all. Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Look up to
Rainbow Children's Hospital and Birthright by Rainbow Hospitals.
We are ready.
We too as well.
Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Red, yellow, orange, green is for good health and the care we need. Blue, violet, indigo is for happiness and peace to all. Look up to the rainbow where the colors become one. Look up to
Rainbow Children's Hospital and Birthright by Rainbow Hospitals.
Hello, everyone. We welcome you back for the second half of the contest, and looks like a change apiece for both the sides. A goalkeeping change that has happened for Kemp Football Club. We are bringing on Kushbu, and they are taking off Anusha. Kushbu Saroj being introduced in the center, and at the other end, Nikita Desai has been taken off. Now that's a good call because again, there are times when your goalkeeper they can have a ordinary day, to be honest. Again, at the end of the day, they are human, so you've got to cut them some slack, and that is where you possibly just change things, shake things up, and bring out a fresh pair of hands under the sticks. And it has been Ritika Bansore who's being introduced in the mix in place of Nikita Desai. Right now, Kemp Football Club, they're cruising by a couple of goals here. And again, another knock forward. That's good goalkeeping from Aruni Singh. Out of a line in no time at all. That's the kind of flash goalkeeping finish that you would love to see from your goalkeeper. This changes the narrative completely. Krida Prabodhini, however, looking a lot more active, trying to roll it back into the stride of one of their teammates and Simran Gurung. She did try and pounce upon the ball, but Aruni, giving her no space whatsoever, does well to collect the ball. And now at the other end, Kemp Football Club starting slowly in terms of that attacking intent of theirs. Since it's cutting a bit of a push out there on Simran. She looks like she is in a bit of agony. And the referee awarding a free kick. And also the yellow card coming out. Quickly confirm who's it for. Looks like it's their captain, Tara Anand, who will still confirm, however. And Arya More once again set to fire home that free kick. Arya launches it goal bound, and again Aruni Singh, cool, calm, composed, out of a line, collecting the ball without breaking a sweat whatsoever. And that's the confirmation. Chaitanya Sri, who's come on as a sub, has been taken into the referee's book. And now Kemp Football Club, can they make the most from this? Needed a bit of better passing accuracy along the way. That wasn't the case. Takes it far away. Does well to push the ball onto that right. Still looking for some space going into this game. Quality stuff, controls that well enough. And now hammering it downtown, only for that ball to be rescinded. Arrow goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. No trouble at all. And this time, a bit of acceleration coming in from Arya More. She was looking to get hold of the ball, but again, good airtight defending, to be honest. Not really allowing that space that they wanted to. And that's good football, to be honest. That's good clarity from these young girls, knowing what needs to be done and just executing that to perfection. Simran knocking it. And this can be trouble at the other end. Krida Prabodhini almost figuring out a way to try and take a shot. But once again, a timely block is what played spoil sport to the entire plan. Krida Prabodhini, they are a lot more mobile, they are a lot more active and threatening to break the deadlock in better fashion. Gets the ball rolling, hammers it downtown, but once again, good understanding. Nice bit of work and another clattering challenge. Oh, this can be trouble. There was an appeal, but the referee says, let's get the ball rolling. And now Kemp Football Club, they are on their way forward, finally to be halted by a raised offside flag. But Monisha, she had her priorities sorted, got the ball, had space ahead of her, and doing what the fundamental dictates. Take the ball, run forward, try and venture into the box, hoping to crack open the defensive reinforcements. Another one of those long balls in the box. Good little turn. The idea was right to try and find an advancing Simran Guru. Simran slightly late to start the run, but even if she would have started the run early, it didn't really look like she could have made the ball. Because again, a bit too overstruck, a bit too far away from Simran as well. But Simran, what an electrifying presence. And again, a push on her from the back. Referee says that's way too tender for him to intervene. Because again, in a body contact sport, the nature of the tackle, the intent of the tackle as well matters. Knocks it forward there, Rani Kadam. Slightly disjointed bit of football, and Aruni Singh, kudos to her once again, out of a line in a flash. What she's realized is Simran Gurung can't be given free space in the box. She's been the one who scored the opener. And of course, that predatory instinct of her in the box is that attacker who's never willing to get the wheel stopped. She's always on the move, on the prowl, looking for goals. Once again, Simran Gurung has some space to take the shot, but eventually decides to set it back for Arya More. And eventually the ball will roll out of the park for a throw-in. Krida Prabodhini, they are attacking in clusters, and this is one of those phases where they have looked extremely dominant. The Kemp Football Club, they've been composed under the pump, and looks like it's going to be a free kick while they were trying to stop the ball. Was there an element of handball involved? That is what we'll have to confirm. But Arya More might just fancy her chances from this one. Can very well be Purva Gaikwad as well. Can try and curl the ball towards that far side. We'll take a look once again. Yeah, that's the hand. And it's going to be Purva Gaikwad. Can she become the super sub for Kemp Football? Apologies for Krida Prabodhini. Came on in the first half, replacing Sakshi Irepe. Purva goes for it and Aruni just fists that away. There was a hint of indecision in Aruni's gathering of the ball. Should have been a regulation catch, but again, not really confident to take that head on. And I think as a goalkeeper, she's done what any sensible goalkeeper would do. If you're not confident, get the ball as far away from that attacking unit of yours. Do not invite trouble. Do not try and bring the axe down on your own foot. That is sensible goalkeeping. But at the other end, now Kemp Football Club comes knocking on the doors. Lovely cross, but that's the first test for Ritika, who does well to come out of a line and eventually collect the ball. Once again, a look at the free kick. Good sight to see the wall in front of her constantly bouncing and wobbling, just trying to create that little bit of disruption along the way. And now another fine run from Arya More just before she could lay claim to the ball. A timely defensive slide ensures the fact that she's got the ball out of the danger zone. Another long throw in the box. Still staying strong. The referee once again awarding another free kick. Now Kent Football Club, they are under some pump here. They are under some challenge. And they'll have to figure a way to try and get Krida Prabodhini out of that half of theirs, because in the second half, it's been mostly Krida Prabodhini so far. Another one of those long range efforts. Another change which will come in. Tara Anand is being taken off, and she's being replaced by Rebecca. It's going to be Arya More with that free kick. She's already tested Aruni once. Can she test her again? Aruni goes downtown. Apologies, Arya goes downtown and Aruni takes that. And that's a confirmation. Rebecca comes in place of Tara Anand. The captain had her challenges today. And once again, no risk taken. And now goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Long balls in play. Simran dropping slightly deep this time. Not really getting much service standing up, and that is possibly one of the reasons why now trying to blend herself into the midfield as well, hoping to get a bit more of the ball from which she can create those attacks, eventually threatening Kemp Football Club. And this is good passing, this is good link up football, and just on cue, it almost came like a commentator's curse. They've given the ball away. And also at the other end, it looked like the favor was repaid. When once again we'll try and show you that free kick there. Arya More knocking it forward, and Aruni Singh. Too easy for her. No challenge at all. And finally, that change will be effected. Rebecca replacing Tara Anand. Well, Tara has had her moments, and once again the confirmation. Rebecca Zamtian Movi coming in place of Tara. Krida Prabodhini, the way they have attacked so far in the second half, they've been really impressive. Another ball in the box again, eyeing for Simran Gurung to make the run. But not to be. And now at the other end, Kemp Football Club, they come knocking on the doors, only to be denied. Rani doing the needful. Chaitanya Sri, who is already on a yellow card, she'll be coming up with the throw-in. It's taking her time, in no rush whatsoever. Launches it downtown and headed away at the expense of a corner. So Kemp Football Club, they can still attack. Looks like a player has taken a blow along the way. She's back on her feet, which is always a good sign. The referee just ensuring that she's okay. Yuvarani is going to be the one to take that corner. Sends it into the traffic, but once again headed away for another corner. Now this is good constant pressure that's coming to the fore from Kemp Football Club. Another corner, this time at the far side. The idea was right. It was a player hoping to get a bit of a head involved, trying to cushion it down for her teammate. Unfortunately, that was never going to be the case. The ball on that swerve went away from her, but that is good press. Finally, after a long time, Kemp Football Club has come venturing forward. It's been a while now since they were locked in that own half of theirs. The way Krida Prabodhini has navigated in the second half, has worked their way out. It's been a tough outing so far for Kemp Football Club. They are leading in the game nonetheless. They have a 2-1, a very slender lead, however, and a very dicey one to try and contend with. And here they come once again from the left, sets it up nicely enough, keeps it under control. Takes a couple of touches, and just before they could roll it into the box, things got a bit too heavy, to be honest. Another little header onto the far right, trying to keep the ball in play, goes out. And finally a throw in for Krida Prabodhini. Kemp Football Club starting to shake off those initial jitters. And this time caught in the uncharted territory, committing the foul. An hour of football, done and dusted. 3 goals already. An entertaining affair so far in the second half. Of course, Krida Prabodhini, the women in white, have looked a lot better than they were in the first half. And the Kemp Football Club trying to play catch up for now. But again, in terms of score sheet, it is Krida Prabodhini who will have to play catch up. So far, if you take a look at how they have operated, they've kind of kept things extremely calm. In the first half, it was about the long balls from Krida Prabodhini, and now Kemp Football Club are resorting to that long ball technique. Another set piece for Kent and for Kemp, apologies. Oh, that's a brilliant corner, and that is another wonderful finish. And now they double that cushion of theirs. A top quality move altogether, and a thumping header to come on as the cake, as the cherry on the cake, one would say. No players in front of the goal, and then eventually late arrival in the box and completely unmarked towards the far side. That's a top gun finish, and that can very well be game set match as well. Another change lined up for Krida Prabodhini. Sakshi Ingale has been taken off, and Nandini Balla is the one who's come in her place. But once again, a brilliant finish has allowed Kemp Football Club to now kind of complicate matters further for Krida Prabodhini. All this hard work from these women from Pune will not count if they are unable to get a goal at the earliest. They'll have to start working in unison and tandem. They'll have to get their team synchronized well enough. Once again, wonderful finish. The way they worked on that set piece, that was good. Simran Gurung now has been kind of out-muscled on that occasion. Now launches that forward. Not the best of moves that you will see. Just that little bit of catalyst that Kemp needed. They were being hammered down with a relentless battery of assaults from the other end. And against the turn of the tide in the second half, the set piece came and they converted that set piece, the corner. What a phenomenal header, to be honest. Met with substantial force, powering the ball into the heart of the net. And here they come, once again. Not just enough. Timely clearance. Krida Prabodhini realizing the importance of every single minute that goes on. Could have just let it go by for a corner. Trying to keep that ball in play, definitely with not the maximal force that you can connect the ball with. Another cross in the box and the defensive clearance coming on, but not for long. Nicely won there by the incoming Nandini. And now Nandini sticking to the ball. No supporting play whatsoever. This is where things can change. And now the other Nandini trying to come into the play. We've got two Nandinis now. One Nandini for Kemp Football Club and Nandini Balla for Krida Prabodhini on the pitch. And just on cue, that's Nandini Balla for you. Almost overcrowded by not one, not by two, but then by three players from the opposition. That's how you quickly crowd out your opposition. This is such good technique altogether. And it feels as if this has been practiced time in and time out in that training session. Again, top stuff. Urgency now starting to show. They want more goals and it's going to be another free kick. Yuvarani trying to make her way from the right was stopped in her tracks. And as a result of the same, they have got a free kick in place. Yuvarani is going to be the one to take that free kick. Yuvarani curls it towards the far side. Another brilliant header. Who would say that there was significant distance between the player and Ritika? But Ritika, standing her ground, does well to connect the ball straight to her. So again, wouldn't have wanted to spill it out. Simran Gurung comes knocking. But then now the defense, after that third goal of theirs, Kemp Football Club, they are a lot more composed and they are rallying themselves. They're conducting that defense of theirs a lot better than they initially were. Now Kemp, can they get another goal? Launching it long. A little bit of resistance as well from Nandini, but again, Ritika doing well. Not really faced by that little push out there. And as the goalkeeper, that's the kind of equanimity in poise you would like to see. Sends it forward this time. And Aruni, making no mistake whatsoever, will stick to her ground. Does well to pick the ball up. This has been mature goalkeeping altogether. Being a custodian of the side, being the last guard of the citadel, being beaten once from an absolute screamer. You will need a lot of guts going into the game further. Another one of those beautiful diagonal balls and an excellent run as well from Yuvarani. Yuvarani now, she's starting to trouble from the right. He's a tall player, has got those long livers in play, and those strides of hers coming to that swift carrying of herself. That's so good to watch at all times. Once again, nicely won there. And here they come, the offside flag definitely up, and they will have to come back empty handed. And another yellow card being shown. This is going to be a set piece again, and set pieces have so far been quite a weapon of choice for Kemp Football Club. They continue to trouble their counterparts with these set pieces. Takes one, heads it to safety for now. That's the confirmation. Nandini Balla has been shown the yellow card. Another long swipe from range, and Ritika makes no mistake. 70 minutes of action. Those 70 minutes hasn't still worked out for Krida Prabodhini after the initial salvo. It's kind of boiled down to a bit of docile resignation so far. Not really too many attacks after that initial buoyant start by them. The corner comes floating in, nicely dealt with by Kemp Football Club. Still with them, and another long range effort there. Smacked hard by Purva Gaikwar. Definitely a proficient personnel to try and affect those from range. And in the last 19 minutes of regulation time, and then whatsoever gets added on. A little bit of an injury concern out there. Down on the pitch, receiving treatment. Gavina Devi, I think she's seeking a replacement. She has already moved to the far sidelines. She shouldn't be playing any further part in this game, that's for sure. Krida Prabodhini kind of now into that defensive integument of theirs, because the way Kemp has operated and has moved very freely so far. In that second half, trouble at the other end. Ritika out of a line, had to come up with the challenge and executed that to perfection. Or else things could have gone in a completely different direction. And another change, Davina Devi, she will not play any more part in this game. She is being replaced by Alekhya Kori. No, Kori Alekhya. Can Krida Prabodhini come up with that late surge of affair? Confirmation, Davina Devi taken off, Kori Alekhya making her way to the centre. A little push, and that was definitely by the books. Purva knocks it forward. But once again, Aruni proving to be the difference between the two sides. Brilliantly done, out of a line, collecting the ball. And you want to watch this day in, day out. This can be a chance here. Simran Gurung. The shot didn't really look like it had a lot in it. But then a deflection along the way has taken the ball out of the park, resulting in a corner for Krida Prabodhini. Can they make the most of this though? Takes the corner quickly enough. But again, not too much effect. And now Kemp Football Club might have something to look forward to. They come knocking on the doors again from the right. Yuvarani trying to set it up. Back to Yuvarani again. And Yuvarani goes for a shot herself. Possibly the idea was to try and get a cross in play. But then the ball completely lost its trajectory and went straight, giving the impression that that was more of a shot taken. And now this can be trouble at the other end. Krida Prabodhini will have to come up with those defensive reinforcements. Sets it up beautifully. Gets hold of the ball. Ritika out of a line. They have to get the shot out, but that is a bit too late for them to try and fire that shot. That is sensible defending, putting up the numbers there. Eventually working out perfectly. Top stuff, very good stuff altogether from Krida Prabodhini. Just that little bit of work that they had to come up with. And that's Davina Devi, who is struggling for sure, will be out of the game. But of course, she has played her part. She has done everything possible. And we'll have the drinks break before the final 15 minutes of madness. Once again, just that little chance. That close down was so important. Kemp Football Club, the discussions go on. Right then, we resume action. Can Krida Prabodhini turn this around in the dying embers of the game? There's still some time. Again, 2 goals lead. Of course, tricky, dicey to work with. But in football, anything's possible. Things can turn around if they just get a goal around in that next, let's say around 3 to 5 minutes, the final 10 minutes, it just turns into an absolute slugfest of the highest order. Oh, that's brilliantly done. That little turn, it changed so many things altogether. But now at the other end, there can be trouble, but kudos to Ritika. Out of a line once again, bailing her team out of the immediate ordeal that they were staring down. This has been a very stern test so far, and the way it all has been defended, Krida Prabodhini will definitely be happy. Apart from the two goals, not that they could have done much, but yes, the marking could have been better. Ideally, from that corner when that goal came in, that marking should have been miles better. Now, Kemp Football Club, they look relentless. They've got players running around with intent, with the idea of trying to hit it as close as possible to the net. And the relentless aggression of Kemp Football Club has kept Krida Prabodhini kind of stranded, isolated in their own half. Chaitanya is going to be the one to take that corner. Chaitanya Shri floats that once again, and Ritika gets a strong hand to it. In the second ball being pummeled forward, but pummeled way too forward for Kemp Football Club to try and control that. "80 minutes on, and Kemp Football Club, they are looking a lot more menacing, a lot more dangerous now. Again, trying to figure out a way to lay off what should have been a decent enough delivery from the right, but met with resistance. Now the free kick taken quickly this time from a different way altogether, just not going all guns blazing into the box. Sticking to that training routine of theirs where they knocked it forward, trying to get it from the carpet. Not really the worst of ideas, to be honest. It's been ages now since the ball has even come close to the box of Kemp Football Club. That's how dominant they have been. Aruni knows it very well that this game has been extremely kind to her, given the fact, given the defense, given the airtight defense that has been put up. And now, just on cue, it feels like Simran Gurung possibly might be hoping for a bit more of the ball. Very emasculated hit, to be honest. You need to do better than that. If you have to steer it forward, you got to do better than that. But that definitely didn't really look like it had any element of even troubling the goalkeeper remotely. assistant referee possibly having chat with the players. Another one of those throw-ins, another one of those openings for them to try and launch it long into the box. Chaitanya Shree sends it knocking. And that's going to be another corner for Kemp Football Club. The troubles, they know no end for now for Krida Prabodhini. They're all set to curl that corner. Once again, very good corner. But that's met with equal bit of resistance as well. But then Kemp Football Club, they set it up rightly. And kudos to Ritika. Had that not been for that outing of hers, this could have been another opening in the making. Wonderful bit of goalkeeping so far for Ritika in the second half. Apart from conceding that corner, she's been sensational so far. Another quick throw in. That's quality work. They'll need some support, of course, someone to complement that run. Again, just hammered out of the park for a goal kick. For Krida Prabodhini, they will definitely like to get back to that drawing board of theirs and try and understand what went wrong for them. They started well. They looked like they had what was the necessary ingredient to try and crack open the Kemp defense. And then slowly and steadily, they kind of dissipated from the game. Arya More, after a long time, it almost feels as if the entire attacking unit has gone napping. And an attempt to try and confuse Aruni from distance. But Aruni, who's been so good today, doesn't really look like that she will even budge or flinch at that. And now trouble at the other end. Kemp, every time they get a chance to knock the ball forward, they come gushing, they come rocking. They want to crack open the opposition defense. They've come forward on multiple occasions, could have done better, but that hasn't been the case. Another long throw. Takes it effectively. And nicely dealt with as well by the rear guard. And good sliding tackle, not really allowing that space to Chaitanya Shree, who takes it quickly, trying to head it into an attacking stride as well. Not really the worst of ideas, to be honest. Sonali Mondol, who's come on. Is there a late twist remaining in this game? Time's almost running away. Does well, pummels it forward. Trying to control that. Gets hold of the ball. And the flag has gone up for that offside trap. all the way back once again to that 18-yard box. But nonetheless, for Kemp Football Club, definitely this will be a victory that they will be delighted to take. But at the other end, they'll also have to work on that attacking flair of theirs time and time again, despite scoring those 3 goals. One of them, of course, has been, in fact, two of them have been from from defensive howlers, and one of them from a goalkeeping howler. So when the defense against them gets tight, how do they work it out? They'll have to find ways to just work their way off, maybe get a decent few balls into the mix instead of going all by the long ball way. And at the other end, for Krida Prabodhini, they'll have to figure out a way to make that attacking excursions of theirs count, because otherwise, all this hard work, it won't eventually be effective. And goals like that of Simran Gurung, they'll only fall short. 6 minutes of additional time given. 6 minutes to decide the fate of this game, as there is a late turnaround. And Aruni slightly ahead of her line there, ensuring the fact that she eventually tracked back in time to get hold of the ball. Again, another towering ball. Simran doing what the initial move was right. Got that header exactly where it should have been. But then eventually didn't really get a second touch. Oh, that's lovely from Shonali Mondol. Just that ease of the move there. That was so good to watch. And players like Shonali, players like Simran definitely has been the pick of the lot. Also, Yuvarani doing the heavy lifting on the right for Kemp Football Club. Quickly taken. A little swish in front, all the way back to the goalkeeper. Easy pickings for her. Ever since Ritika's come on in the second half, she's had that constant battle with the opposition. And an effort from distance, but nowhere close enough to the goal. Out of the park. We're almost in the dying embers. Of this game. Another, that was that how the ball went close enough, and Aruni obviously vigilant. Does well. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Ritika has to come out of a line and does well to eventually follow the trajectory of the ball, because again, it was not going to be easy. If she was coming forward trying to clear it away, instead decided that if she had the space to actually wheel back and collect it, she'll do that. And that's exactly what she's done. Krida Prabodhini definitely will be looking for something as a consolation strike if possible. They've worked hard and they've really done the heavy lifting. And once again, Aruni coming to save their day. Getting the ball out of the park without even breaking a sweat, but definitely that's going to be a corner. So if there is a late turn of affairs, will that count? But that hasn't. And you got to come up with better quality corners, something that we saw from Kemp Football Club. That third goal was scored with a significant header. And top stuff, that little touch, slightly heavy, however, makes life easy for Ritika. Oh, this could have been a bit of a mess out there. The only problem was there weren't too many players from Krida Prabodhini to try and make the most of it. A little slipper. And then trying to set it up perfectly. Brilliant shot from Simran Gurung. Gets a second bite of the cherry. But still fails to hit the target. What a phenomenal bit of move altogether. That was wonderful, to be honest. Nicely snatched away and knocked forward by Sumaya Sheikh. And Simran Gurung, arriving just in time, took the shot, initially denied. And the clearance as well being made. But this game now, it's got both the teams putting up a decent enough show. Both the teams showing that if a chance comes their way, they won't hold themselves back. They'll fight and they'll fight till the very end. That's the quality of football you would like to see when you are watching Indian women in action. Whether it's the IWL or it's the IWL2. Another lovely cross in the box again, but headed away just in time. Kemp Football Club now can sense that victory is close at hand. When is the final whistle going to come? The long wait for it continues. And they might just look for a fourth goal as well, making this victory as assertive as possible. Quick switch to the center. Does well. Good link up football. Sets it up perfectly at the far left. The shot just going wide. Needed better control of the ball. Went underneath, imparting elevation. And with that, we come to the end of what has been an excellent game of football between two sides. Both the sides going headlong into this battle, but Kemp Football Club, they will walk away with the bragging rights. A 3-1 victory for them. They were a goal down when Simran Gurung scored an absolute blinder in the first half. But then Nandini equalized. Monisha making the most of a goalkeeping howler. And finally, Rebecca finishing off with a thumping header. And now, handshakes again after the game. With everything on stakes, these teams can now sit back and settle down their nerves. And with that, we will bid adieu with the full-time scoreline. Krida Prabodhini Pune going down 1-3 against Kemp Football Club. Thank you everyone for joining in. The next game coming up, which is at 4 p.m., will be between Shuruchi Shongo and Hobbs Football Club. Do not forget to tune in into the official YouTube channel of Indian Football. Thank you everyone once again. Stay tuned for more.